Shadow War is really a story of different gray areas in society, different gray areas of morality, stories we like to explore within the greater context of the game. My name is Roy Blackstone, creative director at Patriots Division. Patriots Division is busy creating Shadow War, our 5v5 multiplayer online title. I have always been a gamer since I was young. League of Legends, I've been a professional legend rank in Hearthstone. The last big project that I did was Chainbinders. It was an anime game sort of project. And the crypto community took on to this idea that we sort of had. Chainbinders essentially was one of the very first NFTs that had actual value with Ethereum attached to your individual NFTs. The interest in that was so high that people were asking me, well, this was really cool. What else can you do? And that's really where Shadow War comes from, and that's where it was born. It is a player versus player game built around spies, secret government organizations, corporations doing a war against each other. The game takes place in the future. You, the player, play as an operative, and you play for any one of these corporations. There are 8 major factions in the game, and you essentially get to fight with your team against a team of 5 other players who are playing for their own ends. Action games really are just the sort of the culmination of gaming for me. And really what we're trying to do with Shadow War is we're trying to take this sort of action game package that exists in single player games and really transport that sort of experience into the online arena.
Welcome to Shadow War. Shadow War is a competitive 5 versus 5 hybrid action title where you can perform stylish moves in a fight to dominate your opponent. My name is Joseph Falkenshield. I am the audio director for Shadow War. When it comes to sound, I've taken a lot of inspiration from Blade Runner, for example, where we have this droning, huge, overridden synths. But then again, Shadow War is a very dynamic world. I've also introduced a lot of modern instruments, like real instruments. Shadow War is a hero-based game. You need to feel that fighting spirit, that hopeful touch. It's not all doom and gloom. When it comes to melodies, I've been trying to write very simple melodies orchestrated by intricate and powerful productions.
So Joseph Falkenshield, I think it was about 10 years ago when I first heard of his work, and the talent that he possessed was just immeasurable, and it was something that I was following for a long time.
When it comes to Falkenshield, I have been doing that since 2010. The initial idea was to create something that I didn't really see in the music and games crossover, which was unique, original songs.
To be me. I never wanted.
It's usually me and Roy discussing and giving each other suggestions and coming up with a suitable voice for the character. We do whatever it takes to get the right person for the right character.
Don't you find me enchanting? Death blooms.
It doesn't need to be the coolest, most booming voice. It needs to have character. I think that's the most important aspect, because that's what you remember. That's what you kind of identify with.
A pleasure to be working with you all, ladies and gentlemen. The gun. No touching.
I'm really looking forward to people hearing his work, seeing the breadth of his skill, and seeing everything that he's put together for the game.
The art style has been something we've been trying to nail and we've been focusing on pretty heavily, honestly, since we have a lot of really, really cool concept art. I'm Fredrik Johansson. I'm the technical director and the line producer for Shadow War. The modeling work we've done has been amazing, honestly. Art-wise, I think we're really good where we're positioned. Style-wise, we are using high-resolution sculpts very, very detailed high-resolution models, basically allowing some stylistic sense to come through. So we're not 100% realistic in, for example, how the way a weapon looks. Swords, melee weapons are very large, they're bulky, they're cool looking, they're kind of not really realistic, but it looks actiony, it gives some of that sense. Definitely a technical game, it's quite hard to manage network production like that. But challenges that we have been facing, we managed to overcome, so I'm very happy with the end result, technically. We had a lot of issues early on with networking, how to manage scalable networking and how to make sure servers were working globally and also be able to access a server anywhere you wanted at any point of the day, an infinite number of potential players. But it's definitely, I think, the most challenging aspect of the game so far that we've encountered.
Hi, my name is Pat, and I'm working at ShadowWar as a branding and a visual designer. I've been working as a designer for most of my life. A lot of big companies, Coca-Cola company, Audi, and that kind of stuff. It felt like being part of a gear. I kind of moved to smaller projects. And with ShadowWar, I'm trying to have this very cohesive look to things, and it's rewarding. So the user interface of ShadowWar has been really interesting to build. I tried to apply my creative approach to all the different parts of the interface. So what I wanted to do was having kind of a typographic approach, give it a lot of personality. With some elements is a very difficult thing to do because you have to also consider the usability and the user experience and for it to be really clear and to be really understandable at a glance. So that was a bit of a challenge, but what really helped was simplifying things. Interfacing with the technical team made me understand that even on the technical side there are a lot of similarities to how developing a game is actually similar to developing other technical stuff like a website. When you have a creative approach, it can actually apply to different media, be it a website, a game, or even whatever it is.
We started the development of the game 1.5 years ago now, and it's been a ride ever since. Building up the team has been quite a journey, getting everyone together. Finding people, the right talent is obviously always going to be extremely difficult and has been for this sort of game that we're developing. And you really need to find the people with the right vision for it.
It's been enormously rewarding working with some of the best people I've ever worked with professionally. Especially some of our new hires or some people that I haven't done too much work before, or they were new to that type of game, or they were new to the type of production. Outside of just the really good efforts that everybody's been putting in, I think the one thing that impressed me the most is that it's been very, very hard to not have people work all the time. Like, how do you keep people from not working 12 hours a day on this game, on this thing we're making? So that's been very cool, but it's a different problem that I thought I would have.
It's very interesting to see how all people working remotely kind of interacts with each other, and it's very interesting to be able to work on your times, even though sometimes it kind of gets difficult because if you are very passionate about the work that you're doing, you can tend to overwork a lot, and I have that kind of problem sometimes. It's been a very rewarding experience and great. It's great interacting with all the team.
My name is Pietro, and right now I am basically in charge of everything NFT in this project, which is from NFT generation to smart contracts. As for crypto work, I worked on NFT generation and on another project called Spooky Skellies. Honestly, probably like my best work up until now. We also did crypto charity. As far as the NFT generator, right now it's a tool that it's being constantly in development because all the other competitors right now do one thing extremely well. It's the usual like 20-80% rule. Like with 20% of their effort, they're covering 80% of the market. But like we need to, as a project, we need to like go over 80% and actually do the 100%. Every other tool did not do what we wanted to do or did it in a very simplistic way.
For Shadow War, what we wanted to make for users is actually build up more like an experience. We tried to apply that both on the NFT side, on the game side, and all the interfaces like the websites and everything that is in between. So something that really stands out is, the design of the NFTs themselves. There's been a lot of different parts. It's actually was not really surfacing in if we were actually doing a basic PFP kind of NFT. So we decided to improve that, and we added various elements, and that required some design to it.
So one of the things we're doing is these evolving NFTs. So you can take your agent, and your agent gives you what's called loyalty. So as you hold your agent over time, you get these things called loyalty points, and then you can spend those loyalty points on customizing your agent. So maybe your agent works for the Korean internet company. Then you can actually change that visually on your agent, and that will show up in your NFT. And you can actually physically change the location of your agent, and you can even change the biography, your origin, where the agent is actually from, stories about who they are. So this is really a nice storytelling medium for people who own their agents, and it gives another reason for these agents to actually exist both within the world and as a crypto product.
Right now, what the generator can do is something like really specific. It can go really into the technical because everybody can generate random images, but it's how layers interact with each other, how they are managed.
For the NFTs themselves, what we actually tried to do was building more than just an image. It's more like something that is more a design piece. It's like adding various elements. You can actually combine them and modify them to make the NFT like something that is really yours.
We have plans for minting agents in Q4 of 2023. We're keeping a lot of secrets close to the vest for now, but you will get more details as we reveal them on the social media as they come out. So follow us on social media, follow us on Twitter, and follow us on YouTube to get more information and updates on that.